Hey, welcome back to another video. This video is all about the tools of SEO professionals. All right, so these are the tools that you need to use for SEO on your website. Here we go. Number one is Google Analytics. It's a free tool by Google that you can install this pixel right on your website and get information about everyone who visits your website, how they came to your website, what pages they visited, if they converted, and if they didn't convert, where they left your website. But this is one of the best tools for SEO, hands down, and it's completely free by Google. Okay, so you can find out what traffic sources of people are coming to your website, if they're coming from paid ads, if they're coming from organic, if they're coming from social media. You can figure out all that information for free with Google Analytics. And alternatively, if they're not coming in and you have issues and people are bouncing and leaving your website, you can also see that for free in Google Analytics and start to fix it. So it's a huge tool that everybody needs to use Google Analytics. Again, it's one of the best tools out there. For the amount of information they provide, can't be beat. The second one I like is Screaming Frog. This is a really interesting tool created by some guys, I think out of the UK. And what it does is Screaming Frog crawls your website similar to how Google would crawl it. So they have their own crawler, Spider. It goes out, you tell it which website to crawl. You can crawl your website or anybody's website out there. It goes in, it crawls the whole website and gives you an output of all the data from the website, how a web crawler reads the information. So you'll see it and you can export this information to Excel once it's done, but you'll see if you're missing titles, if you're missing meta descriptions, if your data is not formatted properly. You'll see all of that inside of Screaming Frog. It's a lot of information, but when you're talking about a larger, decent-sized website and fixing a lot of on-page issues, it is one of the best tools I can possibly think of. And I think it's only about $150, $200 a year to have this capability. So really a great tool, I highly recommend it. It's used a lot by SEO professionals to, again, do audits at the start of a project, at the end of a project, to see what we've changed and the impact that's had. And again, these tools work together because if you fix a lot of things with Screaming Frog and then you go back and see in Google Analytics that you're now getting more organic traffic, the changes that you made from the information inside of Screaming Frog definitely helped. So on to the next set of tools. Number three, these are kind of similar tools, so I'm gonna only group them as one tool even though they're actually two tools, but here they are. SEMrush and Ahrefs. Now, when you're talking about your website and you go, what keywords am I ranking for on my website? Google Analytics, they used to give you this information. They do not give it to you anymore. So you don't know, you're blind, essentially, okay? You don't know, let's say you're trying to sell fish aquarium tanks, okay? Now, you'd probably try to rank for the keyword like fish aquarium when people type that in because they're looking for a fish aquarium. Now, what you would do is you would plug that keyword. I'm not sure that's how you spell fish aquarium, but you get the idea. And then you can run it through SEMrush or Ahrefs, and they'll give you a weekly keyword report. So let's just say our website is ranking number 5 for fish aquarium in the search results. That's great, we're on page 1. But that's today. Next week we run it again, we're ranking 7th. And then the week after that, hey, we jumped up to slot 3, then we're in slot 4, then we're back to slot 3. So this is a great way to measure if you're making changes from your audit here in Screaming Frog and then monitoring it in Google Analytics by the pages people came in organically or here with one of these tools, SEMrush or Ahrefs. But this is just one keyword. When you're talking about, a multitude of keywords or lots of different topics, what it'll do is it'll give you rankings by position here. So it'll say like 1 to 10, 11 to 20, and then 21 to like 50. So it'll say, hey, you've got 5 keywords in 1 to 10, you've got 17 in 11 to 20, and you've got, 112 in this range. So it's really important. You want to make sure that your keywords that are on page 2 are getting to page 1, and these that are farther down are moving up here and then to here. So hopefully this number increases and your rankings are going up, because there's value in having rankings on page 1. More people come to your website, more people buy, etc., etc. Now, another free tool that so that's just one example of what these tools do. You can also run some technical audits in these tools. You can run, backlink checks, who's linking to me. There's a lot of information inside of these tools that SEO professionals use, like myself, to figure out who's linking to us. If we have people attacking us with toxic backlinks, you can go in and disavow those and get that information here and pick up who's just linked to me, was I featured in an article, and it helps you tell you that information. And again, tracking rankings is probably my favorite part here, but there's some technical cleanup and other things inside of this. But for the purpose of this video, just generally, it's definitely one of the SEO tools you want to check out. Now, number 4 is another Google tool, Google Search Console. Now, this one is important because you're gonna want to, as soon as you actually create a website, you're gonna wanna create a sitemap and submit that here to Google Search Console. What does that do? Well, Google crawls your website, and actually, this is a big secret I'm about to tell you. Google will tell you if there's major errors with your website. Oh my gosh. So SEO professionals, they'll monitor this. If there's any crawler errors or any indexability issues with the website, Google will literally send you an email and say, hey, you've got a problem and here's what it is. And then you can fix the issue and then have Google recrawl it. So again, another great tool. I've got one more for everyone here, and that tool, I'm gonna have to go up here because I ran out of space. Number 5 is GT Metrics. Now, this is a tool that tells you how fast your website loads, and it actually gives you a waterfall of all the things that are loading on your website. Because remember, one of the key components of Google's algorithm is speed. So the faster you can make your website, the better it will rank, all other things equal. So that's an important tool. It's completely free. You plug in your website and it outputs a score for you of your website, how fast it loads, and some of the issues that you're having, just of things loading on the website and how you can clean them up. So those are my 5 tools of SEO professionals. What do you think? Hit that like button if you liked it. Leave a comment down below, and be sure to subscribe to receive videos like this on topics like digital marketing and e-commerce from me, Preston's Corner. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.